I like the winless Detroit Lions, I said it. I like Arizona, -6. The Chargers, 5.5-point favorites against the Pats. The Indianapolis Colts, +1 against the Titans. This is a trap game. I love the most your guarantee skull.
Bankruptcy!
After a devastating 0-5 week, I'm so sorry, everyone. I truly am. We are still 13-10 against the spread on the season. What goes down must come back up. I'm Jordan Schultz. Welcome to Take the Points, presented by Betfred Sports. Let's run the table. After a less than pretty Monday night win at home against the Giants, the Kansas City Chiefs are now 4-4. They're still alive and actually control their own destiny in the AFC West with 2 games left against the Raiders. Bad turnover by Mahomes, bad fumble by Kelsey. They still have the hardest schedule left in the league, but the Chiefs still alive. Tennessee Titans 6-2. Monster comeback after being down 14-0 to the Colts on the road. They win in overtime, but they pay a price. They lose superstar running back Derrick Henry, most likely for the season. And finally, the LA Rams are rolling 38-22. Massive win over the Texans. I know it was the Texans, but we're still seeing that dominant Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford connection, and Stafford once again shows us why he's a legitimate MVP candidate. Time now to welcome in my man Jason Silva from Betfred Sports, looking at 3 lines he loves heading into Week 9. Jason, the floor is yours.
Alrighty, thank you. So Cleveland at Cincinnati this week. Cincinnati's laying 3 points. I see some money coming in on Cleveland here as the week progresses. If you like Cleveland, you bet them now, or you wait to come back on Cincinnati closer to a pick later in the week. The second game would be Green Bay at Kansas City. We saw that lackluster performance by Kansas City last night. 1-9 in their last 10 at home ATS. I think the money's going to be flowing in on Green Bay throughout the week, and you're going to see Green Bay be the favorite by kickoff. So if you like Green Bay, you bet now. You take the 3 points up over that key number. And if you want to bet Kansas City, you wait, and you might even get them as an underdog come kickoff. Then the last game, Falcons at Saints, under 42.5. We saw this one open up at 44. It's moving its way down to 40, so you can get it right now at 42.5. You bet the under now. If you like the over, you can come back at closer to 40 later in the week.
Jason, really appreciate that. We got more from you in a minute. With decades of experience, Betfred Sports brings you one of the best sports betting experiences in Colorado, Iowa, and Pennsylvania with a variety of betting options, including in-game wagering, teasers, tons of prop bets, and more. And now it's time for my favorite segment of the week, Don't At Me. My top 5 running backs in the league right now. And of course, that's with respect to Saquon, McCaffrey, and Henry, who are all injured. Number 1, Jonathan Taylor. Number 2, Chubb. Then we got Zeke, Aaron Jones, and Dalvin Cook. But I really want to focus on the Colts' second-year man, Jonathan Taylor. Second in the league in rushing, third in touchdowns, also about 5.5 yards per carry, and an elite receiving back. The Colts have a superstar in Jonathan Taylor. Last week, right here, I told you about Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson being ahead of schedule on what we thought might be a devastating injury to his finger. I'm told that the pin is coming out of his finger this week and that he's moving it at about 80 to 85% better than anticipated. He had his pin removed and posted on Instagram, "No pin, time to win." What does that mean for the near future? The Seahawks have a Week 9 bye followed by a monster Week 10 game at Lambeau, which I'm told is still the target date for Russell Wilson's return. So for this week, sources tell me, let's start with Pro Bowlers Allen Robinson and Deshaun Watson and why they weren't moved. First, with Robinson, GM Ryan Pace has made it abundantly clear that he's essentially sabotaging Allen Robinson so that he can lowball him again next summer and get him on another franchise tag. Then there's superstar quarterback Deshaun Watson. Why wasn't he moved? It comes down to GM Nick Caserio and his ineptitude not to deal Watson earlier in the season or even before the year. He wants 3 number 1s. And why didn't Caserio get it? Because Brian Flores, the head coach of the Dolphins, believes in Tua Tagovailoa, and because Watson only waived his no-trade clause to Miami. So really the leverage for Caserio was eliminated. Deshaun Watson and Allen Robinson staying put, at least for now. And finally, some great news for the Dallas Cowboys in the form of MVP candidate Dak Prescott. He missed Week 8 against the Vikes on Sunday night. I told you it might be ominous for him with that calf. However, he looks really good. Should be ready to go Week 9 against the Broncos, which means you can start him, and he'll unseat Cooper Rush in that lineup. All right, team. I got my man Philly 500 right here on the drop-in. We're going to be talking Philadelphia Eagles. Philly 500, it's a pleasure to have you. You're off a win. I'm sure you're thrilled.
Yo, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. Yeah, of course. How can I not be thrilled about beating the worst team in the league?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm happy we won. I'm not letting it go to my head, though, by no means, you know.
As a lifelong Eagles fan, I'll just ask you this straight up. Jalen Hurts, is he the guy? Could he be the guy? What's your belief on him?
If I base it on what I've seen so far, I would say he's not the guy. But here's the issue. The coaching has been so horrible, and I think they have thrown the guy to the wolves so much. You just wonder how much it's him, how much it's the team. Like, this is a guy only played, what, 11 starts
12,
so far?
I think 13, 12 or 13 starts now. Yeah, he's not even had a season.
Not even a whole season. So I want to give him time. But there are things that I do worry about. I worry about his arm strength. I worry about his accuracy. Sometimes when they do look like they have a clean pocket, it's like he won't throw to a guy unless he's wide open. You know, he doesn't lead guys, things like that. So, I mean, I'm hoping he's the guy. Look, we got possibly 3 first-round picks next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to use those for defense, not to have to go package it to get Deshaun Watson or somebody like that. Although I wouldn't mind Deshaun Watson.
As much as we talk about this offense and what it could be and what we thought it would be, what do you think of Nick Sirianni in his first year?
Oh, man. You know, when he first got there, like, besides the first press conference, because that was a disaster, but when he started talking football, I said, man, you know what? I kind of like some of the things he says. It's getting me all excited. I'm like, I'm vouching for this guy. I feel like he Donnie Brasco. Like, he, you know what I mean? He Donnie Brasco.
He did, dude. He did.
And now my channel, everybody's getting ready to whack me because I stood up for this guy. I said, I think this guy may be something, because I was basing it on the things he said. He doesn't do what he says he's going to do. So to me, it's been a disaster.
You call him Nick Kotai. Why?
Because the worst coach I've ever seen in the history of the Eagles was Rich Kotite. I despise Rich Kotite. And to me, like, right now, he's on track to be as bad as Kotite. So he's Nick Kotite. You mentioned the Cowboys and how they're essentially running away with the NFC East. Who do you hate more, the Cowboys or the G-Men? You know what? That is such a tough question.
I know, it's brutal.
It's really who is getting on my nerves more at the time, right? Like all off season, it was definitely Giants were getting on my nerves more because their fans thought they were going to be, oh, we got Galladay, we got this. And then it was like, you know, you guys tanked and you blew the game. We didn't get to the playoffs.
Oh, last
5
year,
wins.
right.
Yeah, so they were driving me crazy. But now, you know, they're kind of going back to the closet for a year with us. And then you have the Cowboy fans are just on, like, you know, they're sky high. It's really annoying right now because they won without Dak. So right now, Cowboys for sure.
I'm gonna tell you a story that I've been waiting. I've been sitting on this.
Okay,
I don't even think I've told this story, and I'm gonna get your reaction on it. This is breaking news. I went to the Seahawks played the Eagles in Philly, a regular season game. Maybe 7 years ago. I went to the game. I'm from Seattle, wearing an Earl Thomas jersey, and I'm gonna tell you, Philly 500. I have never experienced such vitriol. I mean, I had old women yelling at me, "Get that, effing jersey off, you piece of shit." I mean, it was unbelievable. And I got to tell you, I had to respect it. I really did. It got to the point where it was so bad, I thought, you know what, maybe I should just take it off. I ultimately didn't, but I will say I really contained my cheering because I didn't want to get, I didn't want to really, really angry a crazy Eagle fan. What would you have done if you saw some moron wearing a Seahawks jersey against you guys?
But you know, it's not just that it's a Seahawks jersey. It's the fact that it was Earl Thomas. Because every Eagle fan, especially me, wanted Earl Thomas
in the draft, right?
Graham in the draft. So that's like salt in the wound, and the game you guys probably destroyed us that game, right?
Yeah, they won. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Seattle always beats us somehow. But I would have definitely booed you.
But Brandon Graham was a good player. He's a good player.
He turned into a good player. Yeah, he's one of the few guys that has gotten better as he's gotten older. But I mean, coming out, Earl Thomas. I mean, especially the first 4 or 5 years of his career, he was maybe top 2 safety in the league. Yeah,
lights out. Carson Wentz had a nasty play. They ended up losing. It looked like it's actually looked like the last few weeks that he's played relatively well. I know you guys want him to play more than 75% of the snaps to get that first round pick. Any flashbacks when you saw Wentz make a big mistake?
I was a big Wentz guy. I mean, I didn't want to move him. I did not want to trade him. To me, he's the North Dakota assassin. But, I mean, he does some stupid stuff sometimes.
What about Howie Roseman, the GM? Long time.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
That is the number one problem with the Eagles.
The GM.
Yeah. I mean, think about this. You had coaches who don't want to come there because of him. You have GMs who don't want to come there because of him. This guy, to me, is the biggest problem. His drafts are horrible. And now we're in a situation where we got 11 picks next year so far. 3 could be first-round picks. I think. And
you don't want him having that. You don't want him having that power for those picks.
No, I don't. And I think he's going to have it. See, here's my conspiracy theory. The Eagles will fire him or give him a new position. Like, think De Niro in Casino. He'll be like the secretary of the owner. Some bull crap like that. Then they're going to hire some new GM that's going to come. Mark my words, this is going to happen. A new GM is going to come in, and he's going to just be a front man for Howie Roseman.
Yeah, and Howie's still going to have the power.
Yeah, because he's got something on Jeffrey Lurie. I don't know what it is. Pictures, videos. I believe he's got something on him. Because how could a guy survive this long?
Well, I think because of but the Super Bowl bought him 5 years.
Oh my God, I know, but it's like he had 17 years before that of misery. You know, he's been there a long time.
This weekend, Eagles are a 2.5 home dog against the visiting Chargers. I know you like the Eagles. What do you think happens this weekend?
I think if the Eagles run the ball and are balanced, they have a chance. Because I think the Chargers have like the worst run.
Chargers can't stop the run. Stop the run.
So if they run the ball, they have a chance to win. If they don't, they're going to get killed.
So what you're saying is Nick Sirianni's probably not going to run the ball.
I have my doubts.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Last question is the story behind this recent haircut. I know it's a good one.
Well, I had a bet with myself if they would lose to the Raiders. I was so confident we were going to go upset the Raiders. I said I'd shave my head. So I lost that bet because we got destroyed. So everybody's waiting for me to shave my head. And I figured, well, damn, Halloween's in like a couple days. I might as well take advantage of it. So I butchered it on purpose.
Can we see it?
Well, it's fixed now. I shaved it all off. You see?
Oh, now
I'm just a bald dude. But I had fun with it on Halloween. I looked disgusting, but hey, it was all right. You know, you got to entertain the people, right?
Well, Philly 500. I want to thank you for an awesome time. I hope your Eagles figure it out because I know how passionate you and the fan base are, and we'll have to do this again.
Definitely, man. I appreciate having me on. It was a blast.
My pleasure, brother. We'll talk soon, and I guess I say go Eagles.
Yeah, of course. Fly, Eagles, fly. As always.
That's the drop-in right here on Take the Points. Time now for Big Dogs of the Week. We're 5-1 ATS in this category with some outright wins as well. I got the Carolina Panthers at home catching 3.5 against the surging Pats. Mac Jones, the rookie for New England, has been really good, 7th in completion percentage throughout the entire league, leads all rookies in almost every major category. But Sam Darnold is due, as is this offense, for a big game. Enough to get a win, perhaps? I like the 3.5 at home. Rejoined here by Jason Silva of Betfred Sports. Jason, you got some best bets of Week 9 I know you're fired up about. We got to hear it. What do you got?
Yeah, I've come off a heater last weekend, went 5-0 with my picks. No, it wasn't on the segment, but have been running pretty well, so looking to continue that. Kick it off with New York Jets at Indianapolis. So Thursday, it's going to be a quick turnaround. I like the over 46.5. I think this number could continue to rise, and I'd suggest it is one you could bet right now, but Indianapolis has become this offensive juggernaut in a sense compared to who they've been recently, and the Jets have some life offensively. So I think Mike White isn't figured out quite yet, and he'll have a good performance again. He should be getting Corey Davis back as well, so I love the over.
The Hilltopper.
Yeah, that's right. Mike White, the Hilltopper. Yeah, I think we see some points here. He'll get caught up too as more film comes out, but for now he looks very good, and I think it'll continue for the short term.
Next up.
Next game, Patriots minus 3.5. This is another one. I think the line will move continually, right? So it depends who's playing quarterback. I think the odds makers have it at a good point right now, so they can move it either way depending on what quarterback is active. On the other side, you do got the Panthers getting CMC back, or at least scheduled to be. So you'll see some love there for people back in the Panthers with CMC back. But if PJ Walker's in there, man, this one's going to skyrocket and get closer to a touchdown. So I'm laying the 3.5 for the Pats. Even though you're up over that key number, I'm still laying it.
Next up for you, Jason.
Yeah, Falcons at Saints, 42.5. I just mentioned this one. You got Jameis Winston out. Falcons, you saw Matt Ryan with that hand injury last week. That cut, something like that could open up throughout the week or even come kickoff in the game, right? So I didn't see enough of that Falcons offense in the second half last week. And without Jameis and a team that doesn't protect their quarterback well, but also plays very good defense in the Saints, give me that under 42.5. I really like that.
And bet the farm.
Last game of the week, and it's going to be the last game of the week here. Pittsburgh minus 6.5 at home. I just think this is a great opportunity for Pitt to blow the doors off a Matt Nagy team who I'm very low on. Lost 3 in a row. You're playing a Pitt team who's won 3 in a row. Usually in a primetime spot like this, I'm looking for an underdog or I'm looking to go against the recency, what we've seen most recent from these teams, right? So often you look to fade a team who's won 3 straight, but I think it's Pitt's time to blow it open, and I think it's going to be a big-time win, 27-10.
Jason Silva looking for 9 straight victories against the spread. Thanks for joining the show. We'll see you next week. I like that pick, Jason. Everyone knows how I feel about Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. But time for my best bets. Again, we went 0-5 last week. Devastating. But we're still 13-10 on the season. Number 1 for me, I got the Bengals minus 3 at home versus the Browns. It really comes down to Joe Burrow in a big bounce-back performance after losing really unexpectedly as a massive favorite at the Meadowlands against the Jets. Also, Baker Mayfield has not been very good. Next up, I like the Ravens minus 5.5 at home against the Vikings. A curious performance for Minnesota last week. They used C.J. Ham much more than Dalvin Cook and Alex Madison. I didn't like it, and I think Baltimore is really ready to blow them out of the water at home. And sorry, Philly 500, I'm taking the Chargers, giving 2.5 to the Eagles at the Link. I think the Chargers are going to have a monster performance from Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler, the running back, has been tremendous. My guy. And I also think Mike Williams is due for a big bounce-back game. Just 46 yards his last 2. I like the Rams laying 7.5 against the Titans. Why? Matthew Stafford has been tremendous. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, arguably the best 1-2 punch in football right now. In Tennessee, this is their first game without Derrick Henry. You saw my report about Adrian Peterson being signed. He's still on the practice squad, won't be a factor in this game. And finally, my Bet the Farm game of the week, where you really pony up the big bucks. Get those wallets fat. I like Arizona giving 2.5 to the Niners in Santa Clara. By the way, San Francisco 0-3 at home this season. Chase Edmonds, James Conner have been great. A really good 1-2 punch out of the backfield. Christian Kirk, AJ Green, Hopkins have been tremendous. I think MVP candidate Kyler Murray has another huge game against a struggling Niners secondary. And how can I trust Jimmy Garoppolo in a 1-score game against Arizona? Give me the cards. Bet the farm. That's it for today. Thanks for watching Take the Points, presented by Betfred Sports. Sign up now and never miss a bet with BetfredSports.com, proud partner of the Denver Broncos and Colorado Rockies. And don't forget to subscribe and follow me and the Game Day on all social. I'm at Jordan Schultz. We'll see you next week.